Hey everybody, Brendan Kelleher here, and I just thought I'd record a short video here about Deadpool and Logan. I just saw this movie tonight. So, when this movie was first announced, I was a little bit skeptical because I've watched the X-Men movies since they came out. I mean, I'm old enough to have seen them all in the cinema. It's hard to believe it's been 25 years now. But Hugh Jackman has played this character for about 25 years now, and when Disney bought Fox a few years ago, loads of people were saying, oh, now we're finally going to get the real X-Men. And we thought we'd seen the last of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine because in the movie Logan, he, spoiler alert, dies. So that was a fantastic ending for Logan as well as Hugh Jackman's interpretation of the character. And everyone thought that would be the last time we'd see him play that character. But it was a great send-off. So when this new Deadpool and Wolverine movie was announced, and when they confirmed that Hugh Jackman was going to be coming back, I was a little bit skeptical, to be honest, because why would you ruin such a great ending for the character? I mean, there's such a thing as quitting while you're ahead. I mean, Chris Evans has had a great ending as Captain America so far, and Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, he had a great ending in Endgame, and he said before that he doesn't want to ruin that by coming back for a cheap cameo. And I was worried about this movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, because I thought, is Hugh Jackman just coming back for the money? Is he really desperate for the money? They must have paid him a ton of money to come back. But there has to be a good reason for it. I mean, why would you undo such a great ending like the one that you got in Logan? I'm happy to say that for the most part, I really, really enjoyed Deadpool and Logan. And I have so many things to say, but I'm just going to give my non-spoiler thoughts here. So the first thing I want to say is that this movie does not undo the ending of Logan. It actually acknowledges the events of that movie and says that that movie had there was a particular version of Wolverine in that movie, a multiverse variant. Now, for those of you who aren't following all this Marvel stuff, there are different realities where there are different versions of characters. It's hard to miss in the current era of superhero movies. But anyway, they basically say in the movie that particular version of Wolverine is dead and he had a fantastic ending. He sacrificed his life to save a little girl. And the version of Wolverine that appears in this movie is a variant amongst the multiverse. And don't worry about the plot, actually. In fact, the plot of this movie is complete and utter nonsense. It's just all this multiverse, space-time stuff that's not really important. What's important is the relationships between the characters. And the great thing about this movie is it works as a Deadpool movie and a Wolverine movie. Because even though it's a team-up film, if you're watching this as part of the Deadpool series, it works. If you're watching this as part of the Fox X-Men movies, it works. And there's loads of cameos in this movie, which I'm not going to talk about because I want to keep this spoiler free. The one thing that satisfied me about this movie is, as I say, it does not undo the ending of that movie, Logan. As far as I'm concerned, that's one of the top comic book movies ever made. It's up there with The Dark Knight and the original Superman movie, as far as I'm concerned. But this movie is very, very funny. There's some really hardcore stuff in this, and Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have always had this great chemistry. Whenever you see them interviewed, it's like they've had this buddy chemistry going for ages, and people have always said they should team up and do a movie together. And I think Hugh Jackman, for the longest time, he resisted the idea of coming back because he didn't want to spoil the ending. Now, the cynical person in me could probably say, oh, he came back for the money, but I'm happy to say that the script for this movie is very, very good. And despite the fact that this movie is a comedy, there's some very, very emotional scenes played by Hugh Jackman. And there's one particular scene in the car where he really puts so much emotion. And this particular version of Wolverine has been a failure in his universe. Like, again, not getting really into spoilers, but he let his X-Men team down in that universe. And he's very regretful about that. And the way he pours his heart out to Deadpool in this particular car scene, it's just really award-worthy stuff. I didn't expect to see it in a Deadpool Wolverine movie. I mean, you have the action, you have the humor. I mean, and there's some great humor. There's some fantastic jokes in this. But he really does put in a fantastic performance. And he actually looks incredible. I mean, the guy's in his mid-50s now, and he looks fantastic. I could see him do another few movies like this easily. And that's another great thing about this movie. By the end of this movie, you feel that Logan has not outstayed his welcome, that this particular version of Wolverine has not outstayed his welcome. And I have a funny feeling that we're going to see him again. Yeah, overall, this is a great movie with some great cameos. And the cameos in this movie, by the way, there are versions of characters that we've seen before, and there's an actor playing an X-Men character in this that was supposed to get his own movie years and years ago, but it never worked out. And finally, here he gets to play him. That was kind of funny. So there's a lot of in jokes that if you're a real Marvel fan, you'll get. But if you're new to this stuff, in fact, the one complaint I have about this movie is that it's not very normie friendly. I mean, most of the jokes in this movie that you won't get at all, because there's lots of nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So if you've seen all the X-Men movies, particularly the Fox X-Men movies, this is really a play in all those movies. Don't even get me started on the whole legality behind Disney Marvel and Fox Marvel, but overall, this is a fantastic film. I mean, it's definitely one of the best Marvel movies I've seen in a long time. And that's not really hard because they've been pretty poor for the last few years. But again, it's Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds together. They're a great pair. It's a great buddy movie. It's a great Deadpool movie, and it's a great Wolverine movie. And I don't think you'll be disappointed by this. So this is my non-spoiler review, and I'll do a probably more in-depth spoiler review later on. Okay, thanks very much. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button, subscribe, share. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, what you thought about Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.